that box. For goodness sake, put that rabbit down and help. Bertie! What are you doing?
Mr. Potter, sir, welcome. Welcome to Burnham, sir. Welcome to Scotland.
Thank you, Mr. Kinnaird. Is our carriage ready?
Yes, sir. Indeed it is. Come now, Dougal. Mr. Potter and his family wish to begin their holiday, not waste their time here.
I can know the length of their stay, Mr. Kinnaird.
You may follow us on foot, Beatrix. It's not as if it were any great distance. Drive on.
Park, our holiday villa, is situated at what an auctioneer's clerk would call a convenient remove from the station, mainly up a steep bank and over a hedge. The house was built in 1859 by old Mr. Ross. I do not know if I ought to mention it, but I believe he was a baker. He afterwards went to Australia and found a gold nugget, which was considered more genteel.
Oh, Beatrix! Put that rabbit down and help me with my luggage!
Yes, Mama. Of course.
Come on, McDougal. Come.
Benjamin Bouncer is the object of many odd comments. Our gamekeeper, Mr. McDougal, is constantly giving it peppermints.
Would you like me to step in the frame a moment just to give a wee sense of scale?
No, thank you.
MacDougall has possession of Papa all day. My father's interest I can understand, but MacDougall's keenness for photography is something surprising. When it comes to developing, they carry on in what ought to be our larder.
It was the custom for the Potter family, a family tradition, to go to Scotland for their summer holidays for 3 months of every summer, and one of their favourite houses there was called Dalgais. We know what sort of life they lived when they were there through Rupert Potter's photographs, and another source is Beatrix's diary.
I'm afraid there is a chance of going back to Dalgais tomorrow. I feel an extraordinary dislike to this idea, a childish dislike. But the memory of that house is the only bit of childhood I have left. Thoughts of that peaceful past time of childhood come like soft music and a blissful vision through the snow. Dalgais. I remember every stone, every tree, the scent of heather, the music sweetest mortal ears can hear, the murmuring of the wind. I was a child then. I had no idea what the world would be like. I wished to trust myself in the water and the sea. Everything was romantic in my imagination. The woods were peopled by the mysterious good folk. The lords and ladies of the last century walked with me along the evergreen paths. Half believing the picturesque superstitions of the district, seeing my own fancies so clearly that they became true to me, I lived in a separate world. As I walked by myself and talked to myself, myself said unto me. Then, at night, the fairies came out to dance on the smooth turf. Then the nightjar's eerie cry was heard, the hooting of owls, and a rhodea bark sounded from the dark, dark woods. Then, just as childhood was beginning to shake, we had to go. My first great sorrow.
Beatrix was lonely. She only occasionally saw her parents, but she took comfort from her painting and her drawing. Her mother, Helen, had in her time dabbled in watercolours, but I think it's from her father that Beatrix inherited her artistic talent. When he was a student, studying law in London, he filled sketchbooks with his work, and one of his pictures from those early sketchbooks, which luckily we still have, anticipates a drawing that his daughter was to make many years later. On holiday, Beatrix was able to escape from some of the restrictions of her life, and she made excursions in her pony and trap, and when she was out, this gave her a sense of freedom, and it also enabled her to develop a growing interest in natural history.
Beatrix is finding lots of toadstools in this wood. She's fascinated by the colours, the shapes, sometimes even the smell, because the chanterelle smells rather nice. Now she's joined in this enthusiasm by Charles Mackintosh of Inver, who was one of our leading Scottish naturalists. She first met Charlie at Dalgais when she was just a child.
When one met him, a more startled scarecrow would be difficult to imagine. Mr. Mackintosh, before his left fingers were cut off by a circular saw, was a real fiddler, and even now, by indomitable energy, plays the cello. He seldom spoke, but was sometimes heard to whistle. As to the weather, he could never be induced to say more than ahem. I forget how many miles he used to walk. Some mathematical person reckoned it up. His successor had a tricycle. It will save his legs, but modern habits and machines are not calculated to bring out individuality or the study of natural history. It was always amusing to hop from puddle to puddle on the strides of Charlie's hobnailed boots.
Beatrix had been interested in natural history from her childhood. When she was only 8, she was drawing caterpillars, and 10 years later, beetles, with all the accuracy of a pre-Raphaelite artist. Charlie Mackintosh, however, was seeing natural history all around him every day on his postal round of 15 miles or so around Dunkeld and Dalgais. One thing they had in common, though: they were very, very shy. But Charlie was not the only character she remembered from Dalgais days. One was the famous artist, John Everett Millais. He often came with the family on holiday here in Scotland.